Hi, doll. Welcome to Life in the 1900s newspapers. Now, don't you get the heebie-jeebies, and this place is not for blue noses. In fact, this is going to be the cat's meow. We'll be reading the actual words from a 1920s newspaper. It's the Martinsburg's Journal from Martinsburg, West Virginia, dated February 22nd, 1929. This newspaper is chock full of thugs and mugs, flatties, and flappers. But what exactly are flappers? Well, let's find out from some very sweet ladies who actually were there at the time.
She wore clothes a little short, a little tight, a little fancy. She drank, she ran around, she slept around. She had a good time.
And if you were suddenly out of a corset and out of a lot of tight clothing, it was great. Had a marvelous time.
Liberated, sophisticated, carefree, the flapper soared high in her newfound enlightenment.
Did you ever wonder where the term flapper came from? Well, now you'll know. Listen to this.
The term came from the fact that in the Middle West we all wore galoshes. And if you were a flapper, you never buttoned the button buckles. You went and you flap, 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 flapped as you went down the street.
Let's start with the front page news. Moving day for President Coolidge. Army trucks on King Street, Northampton, Massachusetts, loaded with articles belonging to President and Mrs. Coolidge. The articles are being moved from Washington to Northampton in preparation for March 4th, when the President vacates the White House. Did you know that Mrs. Coolidge also had a pet raccoon? Her name was Rebecca. Find car of gang killers, police say. The machine was a 1928 model touring car of the type used by mobile squads of the police department. It was found almost completely dismantled, identifying marks removed, 2 wheels off, and with parts of the body burned or cut away by a hacksaw or an acetane torch, which were found in the garage. A small siren, such as used by police cars, was found nearby. The tires, all new, had been stripped from the rims. A gray fedora hat and a Luger automatic pistol were found in the garage. The owner of the garage, located in the heart of Little Sicily, is Leo Joppet, who operates a grocery store. He told of renting the garage on February 12th, 2 days before the gang killing, to a Mr. Rogers, who said he wanted it for a month and paid in advance. Whatever effect the discovery of the killer's car may have upon previous theories concerning the murders, police pointed out that it widened the circle of persons who had seen the slayers and provided a much broader scope for investigation. Dodge Brothers Special Type B Coupe, an exceptional used car value, is by far and away the outstanding value of the season, $450, at the Union Sales Company, Dodge dealers. Notice, dancers, Peck Mills with the best band he has ever had at Crandall's Saturday night, Dancing 8 till 12. Prices: ladies 40 cents, gentlemen $1.25.
The jazz age had arrived, and the flapper had one thing only on her mind.
I love to dance, so I went every time. I never turned down a dance invitation. That was what I cared to do more than anything else.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, from Anson Weeks and his orchestra, who play nightly at the Hotel Mark Hopkins, San Francisco. Quick, Anson, good fellow, some music in keeping with the scene.
There were some very famous musicians that played in San Francisco. It was quite a town, as it is now. And then there was many fraternity and sorority dances. There was just no end to dances.
On page 2 of today's paper, here's a little local news. Rabbit was trying to save its life. It develops that the rabbit, noted Tuesday evening scampering across the intersection of Burke and Maple, apparently had good reason for flight. Reference to the incident in the Journal brought the information that the rabbit had been brought to the city by Robert Peary and taken to the home of A.M. Stobley, West Martin Street, where the two hunters planned to utilize it later in the country in the training of 3 hunting pups. While Mr. Perry was at the Stobley home, the dogs in some manner liberated the rabbit during the late afternoon, and the rabbit fled for its life, frustrating plans, at least temporarily, to train the dogs. I've mentioned before that 1920s people loved to enter contests and to win prizes and trophies. This sounds like a fun one to enter. Play the most absorbing game of the year and win a prize, $300 in weekly prizes. Does this picture suggest a good talking movie? Talking movies. You have heard the movies talk. Many times you have thought you could have improved on what was said in the movies. Here is your opportunity to write a talking movie. It's easy. Most anybody can do it. Men, women, children. Get in the game and win one of the 126 cash weekly prizes in the big Sunday Baltimore American newspaper. Get your copy from the Valley News Agency, 220 East Martin Street, Martinsburg, West Virginia. Page 3 has the newspaper comic, The Gumps. Sweethearts, were they?
What?
Go put on your collar. Why don't you come to the table in your nightshirt? Get a suit of red flannel underwear. Is that your face or a hairbrush? Don't you ever shave? Oh, I wish some of these brides, before they marry, could drop over here and take a peek at what I see. If they could just look 10 years ahead.
And if the groom could only sit here and listen to what I have to listen to just for one day.
Trade husbands and wives. Mr. and Mrs. Willis Knight left, and Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence Rickensrud, farm couples living near Minot, North Dakota, following a double wedding ceremony in which they were remated after trading husbands, wives, children, and furniture. The women had obtained uncontested divorces. The Knights had been married 17 years, and the Rickensruds 11 years. Here's a funny picture. Babe makes a hit as Cupid Baby. George Herman Ruth, mighty slugger of the Yankees, scored in a different role at St. Petersburg, Florida recently. He is shown wearing costume which brought him first prize at the Beaux Arts Ball. Look at these prices, ladies. Real silk hose, only $1. Ladies' hats, dozens of ladies' hats to go. Some real values in this special lot, $1. Surprise rack, coat and dresses, your choice, $1. Swanky tweeds, smart kashas, and heavy silks are exquisitely tailored in many new ensembles. Ensembles only $19.75 and up.
Lessons. They gave fashion shows. They did all they could to attract people who suddenly never before had money but now had it.
With cold cash and a set of Hot Wheels, the flapper was on the go. The first order of business was to call attention to herself. By the 1920s, standards of feminine modesty had changed.
And then all at one time, the skirts got up to the knee. And once a year at college we gave a gymnasium exhibit, and the whole town came up to it because it was like the Folies Bergère. They saw legs, which in the long skirts you didn't see, but now with the flappers they could see legs all the time.
The last page of today's newspaper tells us what's on at the movies. A story of wit and cunning in a big city's underworld. The Midnight Taxi with Antonio Marino, Helena Costello, Myrna Loy, and William Russell. Hey, thanks for choosing to watch my video today. Feel free to make comments below and to like and subscribe. We'll end today's video and see what our former flappers think about the movies, stars, and Hollywood in general.
Hollywood in the 20s provided role models galore. Every flapper had her favorite.
There was Greta Garbo, that was mentioned, and there was Pola Negri and Theda Bara. The Vamps. The Vamps came in with their eyes all made up and just lying around sensually.
What was a vamp?
A vampire. A vampire was a woman that could suck the life out of a man, practically destroy him. And that's what these women did as they played the part of Cleopatra, destroying Mark Antony and so on.
Gloria Swanson, I thought she was the last word. And of course Rudolph Valentino, all the women were crazy about him. He was just a handsome Arab.
Clara Bow was really something because she represented sex wild as far as I was concerned.
Oh, she was somebody. They called her the it girl, and she could project that sex appeal right out there in front of God and everybody. Joan Crawford made a film called Dancing Daughters, in which there was a lot more smooching and and touching than there were in all the previous films. A kiss at one time was considered, well, that was just about to live an end, when you had a final kiss in a movie. And to have people who touched each other all the time was really revolutionary.
We had gone to the movie, and it was my birthday. And he took my hand, and without realizing, he had slipped a diamond ring on my finger. I was trying to think what movie we saw, but I don't remember the movie. But it was a fun movie, a happy movie. So that's when I got my engagement ring.